Craving and aversion is all about physical sensations attributed to things, circumstances, and so on. And that I want to make very clear. We crave and avert physical sensations, not the actual object itself. And in the markets, trading errors happen when we are constantly trying to change something, a feeling, a thought, sensations, and not trading as your system wants you to trade is a proof of that. It's craving and aversion in full force. And so if indeed trading errors are born of this perpetual need to change something, then the opposite of that has to be no trading errors. But it requires a true and deep radical acceptance of the present moment. Now, as we all know, everything always starts with the mind. And this reminds me of something a friend once said. He said this, and I'm paraphrasing here. There is really no need to observe the body. The real work is just in questioning thoughts and just being present. I honestly beg to differ, because even when one questions thoughts and experiences an abiding presence, bodily sensations still remain, creating all sorts of havoc in the markets or in life. Because again, everything is arising through the body. So the body in some sense seems to have its own say in the matter. And yes, the nature of thoughts can and should be questioned so that they dissolve away. And we'll see how we can do that later on in the course. But until we understand what's happening in the body, we are unlikely to find a durable form of liberation and a true acceptance of the present. For instance, notice how the need to do something, let's say the need to remove a promising trade for minimal profits or scratch. Notice how this need arises as a thought first, and attached to this thought or those thoughts are emotions. And where do you feel emotions? In the body. They typically manifest themselves in the head, throat, the chest area, stomach, maybe the pelvic area, and so on. These sensations can feel very dense. The point I'm trying to make here is that the mind influences the body also influences the mind. And it's very important to really be aware of that connection, because one cannot expect to treat trading errors and compulsions as a whole without working with the body also. That's what we're doing here with this first exercise. It's for you to understand this body-mind connection. It's for you to be aware of how the body is responding to thoughts and how thoughts are responding to the body. When you practice the exercise, when faced with difficulties, whatever their source or their cause, the breath, natural, uncontrolled, and pure, will help you. And soon you will discover how the breath is helping you explore your entire mental field. Initially, the breath will seem like a mere physical function. Air coming in, going out, but soon you will begin to see that it is much, much more than that. It is intricately linked to the mind. And it's not just the breath. Again, as said earlier, the mind and the whole body are constantly in contact with each other. But with any kind of work with the body and the mind, we often emphasize on the breath because it's always there, glaring and obvious, when the whole body and mind connection isn't always. If your mind becomes agitated for whatever reason, market related or not, with time you will start to notice that the breath starts losing its regularity. It loses its normality and becomes slightly hard, strained, fast. And when that particular physical or mental resistance has passed, your breath becomes normal again. In time, this understanding, through your own experience, will allow you to expose the source of your problem behaviors, again, in and out of the markets. It will allow you to explore the nature of your mind in ways you never would have thought possible.